Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, everyone. It's Jazz, West Ham Minds channel. We're going to be speaking about today's game. Finished earlier in the afternoon. Southampton won, West Ham United won. So a lot of things to go through today. Obviously, want to talk about, one important refereeing decision. Want to talk about the lineup David Moyes put up there, the thinking behind that, the ambition behind that kind of thing. Want to talk about, obviously, the amount of chances we had. We failed to hit the target, which is a bit worrying, but also good at the same time. Also want to speak about the opposition, who I probably think, looking at the league table, especially the form table, everyone, Southampton are bottom. This is their only point in the last 5 games. 2 goals scored, 9 conceded in their last 5. And why David Moyes would start with 5 at the back, not give Downs a chance, not kind of swap Ben Rama for Emerson, show a bit of ambition, show a bit of balls. I don't know. I think that's always going to be in his DNA. And I know we've won 4 on the spin before this game, but that kind of thing is just always there, you know. Okay, we've done a good comeback against Fulham, good close win over Wolves. You really got to be winning this game, you know. They're there for the taking, and some of the tactics and ambition and bravery, David Moyes, is a bit mind-boggling to me, really. I think this is just 2 points lost. And how costly that'll be at the end of the season, I don't know. Or usually always is, as we've seen. You know, we missed out on Champions League 2 points 2 seasons ago. Missed out on Europa by 1 or 2 points, Man United. So really not really good. Not really good. I mean, if you look at the team lineup, Zuma was missing. I think he's in isolation. COVID, I think that's coming around again. So I know 1 or 2 people have got that again. So hopefully he'll recover from that well. And anyone else who's got it, hope you get well soon as well. But it is coming around again. Fabianski's in goal again. Being honest, the way I am, he didn't look too clever for their first goal. And I would again said after the Europa, great save a couple of weeks ago now, Ariel, I would have played him. He again hasn't played him. Kera, obviously, I know he can't play in a flat back 4. He's vulnerable. He played in a flat sort of 3, flat back 5 with the 2 wing backs. So Kera was in the middle. He didn't look too clever in most of the game today. I think Che Adam, whatever his name is, he kind of showed him up more than once. Johnson, steady, nothing spectacular, nothing really wrong, just steady Eddie, really. Cressy, not too bad, but again, some of his corners were absolutely shocking and average. It's just gone out of his game. We are shocking at corners, really bad. Kufal, really trying to go up and that. And when we play this formation, this is when you see the best out of Kufal, right? Whether he's 8, 9, 10, I don't think so, but you get 6 and 7s out of him, bombing up and down, trying to make things happen. He likes his formation, and it's where he kind of made his name playing this. Soucek, for me, I think Downs should have replaced him. This is the ideal fixture to put Downs in this game. You know, it's not top 5, not top 6, not top 7 team. It's a team who's one of the worst in the league, bottom. Why don't you give Downs? It could be a remarkable decision. It'd be 2 things. Soucek will give him a bit more rest, and Downs, you'll do okay. You'll do okay. But again, you didn't do it. Soucek for me was not really do anything in the game. Rice was really good. Wonderful goal. Nearly got another one. So again, he led the line really well. Captained the team really well. Emerson, again, he's a squad player at best, you know. Listen, he's an improvement on people like Fredericks, understand that. And he didn't cost an arm or a leg. He's okay without being more than that. And I think Ben Rama, this is the game where we should have given Southampton something to think about, you know, and we didn't. We again playing steady Eddie away from home. Bowen didn't really do much, went missing again for one reason or another. Scamacca, wow, like last week, so many chances, I don't know how he didn't score, but he's getting himself in those positions and he's getting ever so close. It's one of those things where he's going to score a hat-trick one game, isn't he? So again, wonderful start to his West Ham career, but he could have easily got so many more goals. So it's just one of those things. Him and Paqueta are linking up very well. I mean, one or two chances they had, linking each other, setting each other up. I think there's one where Scamacca set him up, Paqueta, in the middle of the game. We're going to talk about that in a minute. So Paqueta's doing well, but for me, I think we missed the trick. I mean, if you look at the stats, I think we had so many chances. I think we had 25 goal attempts, 4 on target. They had 10. We had 61% possession, and we haven't won the game. If you look at the subs, I think they were made far too late. I think, Antonio came on, should have come on a bit earlier. Benrahma should have started ahead of Emerson. It's 2 points dropped as far as I'm concerned, and it's kind of where we are with David, really. It's always going to be a sticking point. Obviously, when we play Liverpool, he's going to stick everyone behind the ball anyway. And Southampton, we should have gone for the win. Really should have gone for the win. We're in a good run of form. You got to just start. You just got to go for your gut instinct, and you got to start with a strong team. And if you look how many substitutions you can make, you can always change it later on, right? It doesn't matter. But I'd rather do that and be brave the West Ham way. Let's go at them. We've won our last 4 games in a row. We're playing the bottom team, and this is their first point in the 5, and they're kind of matching us in the first half. So all that 5 people behind the ball, that didn't help. They were getting in front of us all the time. Carroll was having a nightmare against Che Adam, who, to be fair, is one of the worst strikers in the Premier League. Hardly scores. So before I carry on moaning, I think Frankie should be joining soon. Let's see what's going on in the chat and have a bit of rum. Cheers. Oh, bloody hell, spilt a bit of that. Drop like spuds. Come on, you irons. Hope you're doing well, sir. Hope you are doing well. I'm just cleaning up a bit of rum. Bloody hell, one sipping it's all drip-drabbed all over the bloody floor. Cosmos Runner, hope you're doing well, sir. Hope you are doing very well. Let's see what you got to say. Unfortunate today. Unlucky. It is unlucky, mate, but when you look at the bottom 3, we've lost to Forest and we haven't even beaten Southampton, right? And you can say what you want. I think the lineup was completely wrong from the beginning. Downs should have been in there. Benrahma should have been given a starting spot. He just doesn't do it. And then when he does it, it's too late. And yeah, we could have easily got this one over the line, mate. Yeah, that's what I think anyway. Frankie, how you doing, mate? You all right?
Oh, mate, you good?
Yeah, just thinking about the game, really. It's like 2 points drop for me, mate. They're bottom of the league on form. This is their first point in 5. And just thinking about things like Downs should have started ahead of Soucek. Nice little game for him to come into. Benrahma ahead of Emerson, and we've stuck 5 people in defence, and it still didn't help because they were coming onto us all the time in the first half. I mean, we were pretty open, so I think it's David Moyes getting a little bit nervous and jittery and just too laid back. He should have just gone from the beginning, mate, and see how it goes. Just go for it, mate. I know. Yeah, that's kind of thing what I'm thinking about. Yeah,
tough one, mate. He panicked, didn't he? Because, well, did he? I don't know, because obviously he had a couple of injuries in defence, no Dawson, no Zuma. It's always going to be tough losing 2 real key centre halves. So, the fact he's had to, mix it up there, I think he felt like the safest bet was to go 5 at the back, but they couldn't score a goal to save their life, mate. They just don't score goals. So if there was ever going to be a game you could afford to be a little bit risky, and to be fair, their goal only come from a massive deflection, mate. So other than that, did they really threaten that much? I don't think so. So yeah, I mean, but then I know like a lot of people saw after that first half, no shots on target. Everyone was saying, but I feel like we should have had shots on target. It wasn't like we didn't have chances. Paqueta should have put his header on target. Scamacca in the box should hit the target. So it wasn't like there weren't good chances. We just didn't have our shooting boots on in that first half, mate. So, yeah. I mean, Downs, what has Downs got to do to deserve a start in the Premier League. What is the point if you're manager, right? No wonder every youngster leaves and wants to get out of the club, right? Because and I don't want to turn this into a moany thing. Respect the point at the end of the day, mate. A point away from home. I know they're in bad form and everything else. I'm not devastated with the result. We've not lost again. The rot's well and truly stopped. I do feel like it was a chance of 3 points before Liverpool, which was really important. But if you're saying to players, I'm going to play you in the Conference League and I'm going to play you in cup matches, if they play a couple of games in a row and the best player on the pitch, they have to come into the starting lineup in the Premier League because that's where everyone wants to be, in the main team. Areola's played out of his skin some games in the Conference League. Can't get a look in the Premier League.
Yeah.
You know, Downs is having a stormer. Can't get a look in. Souček, mate, is just finished. I've backed him, you know I have, a lot. And I've stood up for him and said, you know, I think he still needs to be in there. And I'm not convinced with Downs just yet. Well, Souček, the game just passes him by, mate. You don't get in the box no more. You don't get his header on anything. You don't put in tackles. You don't have the work rate you used to. For whatever reason, the man's just finished. If Downs is in the middle of that park today, you could have made a massive, massive difference to the outcome of the result. So, yeah, for me, if form players and people who prove themselves in the games and chances that they're given must be given the opportunity, because if they're not, in the end, you just think, why should I bother? Why should I bother? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wait until you ship me out and I'll play for another team. So
yeah. Ben Rama had a wonderful goal in the middle of the week and chance to give him a bit more of a confidence again, arm around his shoulder, like, go on, son, you know, prove it to me, but doesn't do it again. Che Adam, who's one of the not so great in terms of goals. He had a number on Kera, mate. He done Kera, mate. He done him enough times. He bullied him. And surprisingly, they matched each other for pace, but Adam was a bit stronger in strength, I think. Going back to their goal, what did you think about the foul throw-in, mate? We'll never know, will we?
I mean, it was a big stride. I mean, he looks like he's pretty much over the line, but it's difficult to see from all the angles that they showed. The fact that the reaction from the players was so strong and they were all screaming for it makes you feel like, you know, it was over the line. But again, mate, if you defend, we're not having those conversations at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? That's a very big comment. Soufal, terrible today. Absolute worst player on the park for me. Useless. The amount of times you think put a first ball into the box, can't do it, can't defend. He's just got nothing about his game, mate. The sooner we get a replacement for Soufal, the better, I tell you. And a lot of people were screaming in the window to replace Cresswell. Cresswell didn't have his best game today, but he's been pretty solid for most of this season so far. One area that I think we need a proper right back, mate. I tell you, because and Kerr's not the answer because he got absolutely skinned against Fulham at home. Kerr was getting absolutely roasted at right back, so he's not your answer either. So, yeah, right back is a bit of an issue at the moment with Soufal being in such poor form, mate.
Yeah, they cut us open enough times in the first half, and it just looked like the Wolves-Fulham games where it's mid-table, you come at us, we come at you, and we'll just see who ends up winning it, you know? Yeah. There's not one team clearly better than the other or dominating. Obviously, we got a lot of chances, but so did they. They didn't look like they're going to put anything away, and I thought Scamacca, one of these games is going to bang a hat-trick in, and I don't know when that's going to...
It's coming.
Yeah.
But I do feel like we need to get players closer to him because, mate, he's not just a big nuisance of a striker who, you know, actually has a shot and actually makes things happen. Mate, he can pass the ball. That one where it came to him and he put in Paqueta, what vision to pick him out was absolutely superb. So, I'm really impressed with Scamacca so far, mate. He's been really good. But go on, mate.
Lots of comedy. I think someone thought Dawson was playing Lawrence. Sound like me, mate. Yeah, carry on.
But one thing that there's just a comment that's just coming about too much going backwards. Mate, we are so slow to do anything. The amount of times where it's like, play a first ball into the box, play a first ball to Cresswell. The amount of times there's an option on and we refuse to do the quick early pass. We've got to get quicker with our play. We've got to be confident enough to make those passes first time. Because if we don't, we're always going to struggle to break teams down because we give them too much time to get back into shape and get back into position. I think the only player who actually tries it is Paqueta. Paqueta realises that we move the ball too slow. the problem is we're in a mindset, we're so slow that every time Paqueta tries to play that first time pass, the players weren't ready for it. They weren't reacting. And unfortunately, Paqueta kept giving the ball away because of that. So there was one where he played Emerson in. And he was like, why weren't you ready for that? And it was a brilliant first time pass he played, flicked it round the corner, superb. We've got to be a bit more alert and be a bit more, I don't know, just on the front foot, mate. We're just so sidewards, backwards, slow to make a pass, take an extra touch. It's just frustrating.
It's got to be a bit of manager coaching, bit of advice, like be stable, don't give nothing away first time. We're not playing fucking AC Milan or Barcelona. Just see how it goes. Be a bit more brave. And like you said, with the 5 substitution rule, you just be. I mean, Conte, I think he managed yesterday's game brilliantly. Brought on Basuma at the right time. They managed a great 2-0 win. Then they made really late substitutions, wasting time. Just know what you're doing, mate. I know, obviously, he's one of the really, really good managers in the world, hard to compare with. But just have a plan, mate, and then be brave and see. Listen, we've won our last 4 games. Looks like things are getting together. Benrahma had a good midweek game. Downs, both of you are in form. Go in there. God, you never know. First half, he might come away with a lead at half time and hold on. But Wazim, I don't think any manager plays for a draw. I think he's just cautious. I think Antonio let the cat the bag in the podcast, saying we're told to just hang in there till the 70th minute and then go for it after that. I mean, he came on really late, but in terms of the first half, yes, Scamacca had 1 or 2 really good chances. Paqueta hit the post, and there's one where that bit where Paqueta hit the post, mate, Scamacca assists, like you said. Scamacca's got a lot more, to his game, isn't he, mate? Yeah.
He has. Scamacca's got so much to his game. His hold-up play is fantastic. His physicality is brilliant. But he's big, but he's not clumsy. Normally, when you get someone who's that sort of 6'2", 6'3", normally they're a bit awkward and a bit Bambi-legged. But he's not, mate. He looks so comfortable on the ball. He's just a real good player for us. I just wish we could get players closer to him and just bounce off him a little bit more. Because when we do it, mate, it really does work. So yeah,
dare I say, I see a little bit of Dean Ashton in him. Dean Ashton was always good on the floor, very good.
Yeah. I mean, he's definitely got that. What Dean Ashton used to do brilliantly as well was roll defenders. Scamacca can roll a defender just like Dean Ashton did. There was that goal that he scored. Against Man City in the cup, where he rolled the defender and then buried it in the near post. Just brilliant finish. Scamacca's got that about him. He can roll a defender and then have a proper strike. He's got a great strike of the ball. I just felt Scamacca missing the target a little bit today, mate. And for all the positives and all the praise that we can sing for him, and he deserves every bit of it. That one in the box where he sort of had a chance, it bounced back to him. If he hits the target, it's a goal, and he missed the target. And as a striker, when you're inside the box, you can't be missing the target from that position. So, but that will come, mate. The more games he plays, the more time he gets. Again, Hoek tough for Antonio. It's always the substitution. I would have left him out there. I think, he can still get a goal from anything. So I would have kept him on the pitch. But yeah.
I think he must have had 6-7 shots last 3 games where they've gone wide by the odd inch, haven't they, here and there, very close. But I remember a header at Fulham, perhaps he should have definitely banged that one in. I remember Dean Ashton saying you got to put that one away. Bowen, mate, again, can't remember anything from Bowen, mate. I don't know.
Tough game for him again today, mate. A couple of times, bad, miscontrolled, lost possession. There was one where he was out on the line and the ball comes to him. He tries to control it with his foot. All he had to do was put his body behind it. He miscontrols it and it goes out for their throw-in. And that was when we was late in the game trying to get on top, and to give away possession like that was not great. So, Bowen had one of his offish games today, mate. Didn't look as bright as he had been in the past couple of games, but he didn't do much against Fulham. The 2 games before that, he was looking like he was back. I know he scored a penalty against Fulham, but other than the penalty, he didn't really have a great game. So Bowen slipping away from form again. Don't want to see that. Want to see him kick on again, really. So
yeah. What about Johnson, mate? What about Johnson, Mr. Johnson?
Really tough to comment, mate, because he's playing out of position. We asked him to do a job today, didn't we? And it's tough. Johnson isn't a centre-half, will never be a centre-half. And the last couple of games, he's covered there for us. He doesn't look comfortable there, but it's not his position, mate. So difficult to criticise a performance when you are playing out of position, really.
Yeah, so half-time, I don't know what you're thinking. I mean, obviously, they were saying, chances are being created from both teams. West Ham are still in the game. And Benrahma came on, didn't he, around the 61st minute mark. Began to make things happen. And I was pretty surprised. It's one of the rare occasions where you see Benrahma and Paqueta together on the same pitch, didn't we? And I wonder how many times we'll see that, and whether you're happy to see both of them together on the same pitch, mate, or do we lose something when that happens?
No, I think, we wanted to see it. I think it was important. I think we needed, but the thing with it was we weren't lacking creating chances. I know we didn't have a shot on target, but we'd had 9 shots. We just hadn't hit the target. I don't know whether that was, he made an early change for a change, Moyes, which I was happy to see because we needed to freshen things up. What I am surprised about, which there's a comment in the chat, again, Antonio should have come on earlier. I expected to see Antonio earlier. The reason Moyes didn't do Antonio earlier is because he was swapping in with our other striker. I would probably have liked to have seen him and Scamacca on the pitch at the same time a little bit earlier and us take the game to Southampton and try and win the game. But, as Moyes played out for the point, all in all, I think in the end, I think Moyes was happy with a point away from home. He always is, to be honest.
I just thought something. If you finish 6th, 7th, semi-finals, why are you scared of everything? What the hell is it in your DNA where you're just always jittering in games and not playing? I don't get it. I don't get it. Why you not got a little bit about you in the game? I mean, their manager's, like you said, on the verge of getting sacked, and you kind of held back a little bit, really. That's a great stat, Lawrence. 14 corners. You're right, mate.
And we used to be so effective from corners. And at the moment, we're not doing it. Unless Dawson's on that pitch, we don't seem to be able to create much from him at all. But Bowen's balls into the box, they're 50-50. So he sometimes struggles to beat the first man, which is terrible from a Premier League footballer. But we just don't seem to fizz a ball in with any ambition again. Like our lethargic play at times, you want a ball whipped in there. You want it to be dangerous. You want to fly. The amount of times it just goes to the near post defender and they just knock it away. It just happens time and time again. And then there was one in the second half where we try and do this thing where we put players into the front post and we try and flick it on. One time we actually got the flick on. There was no West Ham players at the back post, and it was just like, why? But it's because we'd made subs. Nobody knew their role for that corner. Antonio had drifted into the middle. If Antonio had held his position at the back post, the ball would have come to him and he's got a chance at goal. So just again, sometimes we need to be a little bit more switched on with stuff like that, mate, I think.
Yeah, Luke, I'm surprised you weren't too fond of Paqueta. I think he's trying to make things happen. It's very early days still. I like what I see. He's involved.
I like what I see, but I'm going to say a comment here that people won't like, right? But I'm going to say it anyway, right? That man, Paqueta, I like the fact he's trying to make things happen. I like the fact he's trying to bring some entertainment value. And I like that he's trying to play these first-time passes. But why does he get a free pass and Benrahma got told, do not play those glory passes. Do not have those shots from distance and give the ball away. Don't give away possession. Don't do this. Don't do that. Benrahma was told all of this to knock it out of his game, but Paqueta gets a free pass to give the ball away countless times in a game, which he does do. Constantly try the glory passes all the time rather than playing the simple ball. And it seems like he's okay to play the way that Moyes doesn't allow Benrahma to play. I'm not quite sure why. Maybe it's the price tag. Maybe it's because, Paqueta's this big, superstar and has got the money value above him, and Moyes don't feel like he can do it with him. But, I just don't see why it's one rule for one and one rule for the other.
Yeah, I think the other thing I noted down was Benrahma, reasonably, bad miss after 66 minutes, I think, straight at the... He had the whole goal gaping at him, then he hit it straight at their player that was trying to block it, I think. And then Scamacca, 83rd minute, had another chance. Yeah, Kresi's corner. But yeah, I think you've got to be winning this game, especially after you kind of view it back. And I think we've got, is it Liverpool next, is it?
Liverpool next up, mate.
And the comments on the West Ham website, David Moyes is frustrated by decisions, missed chances. And you're kind of half right, mate. Yeah, we did get a lot of chances. What did you think about the referee? Did he stand out for anything for you? I mean, that decision was made very quick, mate. Their first goal, very quickly. Like,
yeah, it was
a goal.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't actually know what they checked, or it didn't seem obvious what they'd checked on the because Bowen sort of half felt like he was fouled in the build up to that goal as well. So yeah, it's I don't know. I didn't see anything really that poor from the ref. I felt like he didn't really have a lot of decisions to make in the game, to be honest with you, mate. So yeah, it was a fair referee in this game, I think.
I think they're complaining about a Souček penalty kick, a foul on Souček. That's what he's going on about.
Souček was getting his shirt pulled a lot. You know, from what happened in the Fulham game where a ref was all over it and watching it, the ref was letting this one go. But the point is, mate, again, when they're doing it, we've said game management from us is a bit naive at times. If they're getting away with it, you get away with it. Do you know what I mean? Just if the ref isn't giving it, then you've got to match them up to them, or you've got to give it a little bit of it back, or you've got to play intelligent and play a bit clever. So, you know,
I mean, Lord Prowse, the corners, I was watching them, amazing, really, really good. Right, I don't know how he does it, but yeah, it's becoming a bit of an issue. The corners, not quite hitting being accurate, really. Yeah, Liverpool, you never know, mate. Sometimes Liverpool, yeah, they kind of won
in a
today.
bit of form again now, though. They was out of form a little bit, and they weren't looking good. And now Salah's finding his scoring boots again, and Liverpool are just starting to show signs that they're back a little bit. So typical timing for us, mate. So
yeah, I think if we'd won, then we would have been perhaps 9th. I think something like that. So we're still mid-table, 11th, 12th, I think. Let's
11th,
have a look.
I thought, but that was before some of the other games, actually. So that was at the end of the.
So we are. Let's have a look. Well, in form tables, we're 9th, but overall we're 12th. With Palace got a game in hand over us, and so do Leeds. But yeah, I mean, Forest are bottom, mate, and they've got 5 points, 3 of those against West Ham. And we haven't beaten Southampton.
Forest result looks worse and worse and worse as the weeks go by, doesn't it? It was so bad. We should never have lost to that mob ever.
Do you know what the weird thing is? We won that, we're 7th. It's weird, isn't it? Wow,
it is.
That is nuts. And I know people don't care, but Lingard's not regular anymore. They've kicked him out of the team. So
there's a comment just coming from Daniela. I just want to touch upon it before the opportunity goes by, but. She said 7 points out of 9 in the league with our European games, 13 in 15 since the Everton defeat. We're 12th, 5 points off 5th. 2 weeks ago, we're 3rd from bottom. And I take all of that on board, and I totally agree that I'm so happy that we're out of the bottom, away from danger, and, you know, we've got some results. And that's really, really important. But we did say before we went into this spell, if you could handpick 2 home games for Moyes to turn the form around against, those were 2 of the teams you'd want to play. And if there was anywhere you wanted to go on the road today, it was Southampton. So while we're happy for the results and it's all good, and mate, I'm sitting here more relieved and whatever, the point is we're trying, or David Moyes has always said, at the end of every season, he says, what we've got to find is those couple of extra points that gets us moved forward, i.e. Conference League last year, his goal for this season was to find the extra couple of points to get in the Europa League next season. That is always his ambition. At the moment, we're far, far short of where Moyes would want us to be, and we're far short of where we want to be as fans and where our expectations are to try and continue progressing as a football club and staying in European football. At the moment, we're quite a way off that. So we've had some easy games, couldn't have handpicked them any better for Moyes, got some results, kind of, you know, respect the point. I'm respecting the point from today. Not a brilliant result, but I respect the point away from home in the Premier League. We've got some tougher games coming up now. And that's where you'll see the measure of how far we've come and if we are turning a corner or not. So, you know, I want to see us give Liverpool a game. They're a big team. I don't want to see this roll over, have your belly tickled like we always seem to do. I don't want to see this, oh, you can't compete with Liverpools and Man Cities. I don't want to see any of that. I don't want to see us go up there and play 5 at the back, sit behind the ball and hope for the best, because they'll carve us apart and in the end it will be a cricket score. So I'm really hoping that we can just go to Liverpool and try and give them a game, mate. And if we do give them a game and we lose, I'll come on here and say I'm happy because we gave it a go. I just don't want to go up there and just roll over like we can do in these games. So, our eyes are on to Wednesday, mate.
I've just realised that we're one of the lowest goal scorers in the league, mate. 9 goals from 10 games.
Yeah, we struggle.
We haven't let in a lot either, so it's been a bit of, well, what people are
We've
saying.
got some of the best defensive stats, but some of the poorest goal scoring stats. So
that's kind of like you said, we're very comfortable holding teams, but then it's just the way we're playing, isn't it? That's a bit weird. Team for Wednesday. See, that's not the game to bring Downs into Liverpool.
No,
I mean,
you can't do that. That would be the worst thing you could do to the kid.
Yeah.
You can't do that. You can't do that.
Yeah. Whether all three of them can play in that middle, Rice, Soucek, and Downs, that'll be interesting. I don't know. Salah, he scored a good goal today, but he's not been quite with it. Robertson's back today from injury for them. But I always say Liverpool, mate, they're all over the place at the back. You can get at them. Zuma, does that allow him to come back? I don't think so. Does that allow him to come back in time? I don't know if you've got to be away for a week. I don't know. How would you set up? I mean, there's only a couple of ways he sets up today in 4-2-3-1, isn't it? Normally,
it will be the same. It will be 5 at the back. We know it'll be 5 at the back because he'll want to be cautious and he'll want to try and keep them out. It's going to be a tough one, mate.
What's up with Dawson?
I don't know, mate. I didn't see any of the team news, to be honest.
Liverpool apparently were 4-3-3 today. Firmino in the middle. Salah, Jota. Why didn't that Portuguese guy, Nunes? Oh, Nunes was on the bench. Shit, he's going to play him against us, isn't he? Nunes. He's going to be a handful, and they're gonna. Our weak link is down the flanks, isn't it? Fullbacks, wingbacks.
Yeah, and they'll know that they will put him on one side, and they'll put Salah down the other side, and they'll go at us down the wings, mate. And we look really weak out wide at the moment. So.
I mean, luckily Diaz is injured, but God knows he might be back for that. He's really, really quick. So our team, I mean, it depends. I mean, if Zuma can play, Dawson can play, they'll come in. I like to, again, it's an away game. It's a kind of game where, again, Benrahma's going to get lost in this game. He's not going to be able to be physical enough to hold on to the ball or anything. So, again, it's a wrong game for him to come into. But had him and Downs played today and had half a decent game, then you never know.
Yeah.
But you're right. I think hopefully we'll get Dawson back in. And then, have you heard anything about Agard? How far away he is?
Well, he was training on grass again, isn't he? So he's not far away. I think Wednesday will come too early for him. But in the next couple of weeks, we should see him start to be on the bench again, mate. So he's not far.
A lot of our channel family are still David Moyes out, mate. Any comments on that? Most of them, they haven't changed their mind.
No. Like I said, he still does some weird things. I think the Downs thing, and with the way he's playing, not only Downs but Areola as well. I think he's got to be more consistent with informed players and play them over his friends. I think that's really important. 5 at the back against Southampton. If we hadn't had the injuries we had, then it's the injuries that have given him the excuse for me. However, I feel if Dawson and Zuma are available, I still think he plays 5 at the back. I still don't think he does anything different. So I'm giving him an excuse when probably he doesn't deserve one, and he would probably have been 5 at the back today anyway. So 5 at the back against Southampton, mate, just isn't for me. I still find it boring to watch. It's not exciting football. Like I said, in Fulham, I was bored to tears watching that game, and so was everybody else in that stadium. I can't believe that anyone would tell me if you went to the Fulham game and you sat there and you watched it that you weren't bored out of your brain, because it was really, really boring. And I just want to see a little bit more. We've got these great players, we've got some real talent in there now, and it's for all to see. And I'm just not sure that we're getting the best out of them, which suggests that Moyes isn't the right man. These results that we've had in recent times, everyone goes, "Oh, where's all the Moyes outers now?" Well, like I said, you couldn't have handpicked any better games. So, but you still got to beat what's in front of you. And Moyes has done that in recent weeks. So, a lot of people feel he silenced the critics and so on. Mate, I'm not going to flip-flap. I've not been Moyes in from the first time that he become manager, and I've not been Moyes in from the second time he become manager. He isn't for me as a West Ham man. And I would like to see somebody else in the role. But are we going to get somebody else? I'm afraid at the moment we're not.
I mean, you look at that lineup, there's 4 new players in that team. I don't know if that's too much compared to other league teams. That's 4 players that are brand new this season. And I don't know where we're going with the team. Obviously, on paper, we should hopefully be comfortable top 10. East side views, obviously.
Mate, we should, right?
Yeah,
See, when we line up,
yeah.
we should put the fear of God into other teams. Teams should be petrified of us with Scamacca up front, you know, with Paqueta in behind, with Declan Rice. Teams should be fearing us, but they don't.
Yeah,
And
you got
we
Bowen
don't
in
get
there.
on top.
Yeah.
We don't get on top of teams to beat them down to get results. And that's a problem for me. I just want to see us be ruthless. I want to see us be an exciting team that tries to make things happen. And we've stopped the rot now. Today was the time to go at Southampton and try and get 3 points before Liverpool. And we kind of bottled it, mate, with the way we set up. We kind of just threw it away. So
it's just like a stuttering train, isn't it? It's not quite going to first gear. It's just, I don't know what's going on. Rice's goal, did you like it, mate? Good finish? A little bit of a curler.
No, really good finish.
Yeah.
I was watching on a stream and it froze just before he hit the ball. And I said to my son who was next to me, I went, this is going in. You could tell with the way it shaped up and the way it was that Rice couldn't miss that. He was always going to pop that in the far corner. So, yeah, as the frame froze right when he was about to strike the ball, I knew it was going in the far corner. So
I don't know why it always freezes when there's a goal. I don't know why that happens. It's weird. Great comment, Tony. Yeah, take Bowen off and brought Antonio on. Yeah,
it would have made sense, and leave Scamacca in the middle for Antonio to try and get the ball to. You know, it would have made sense.
And we've never seen much of them together, have we? Like that. So
no.
Yeah. He wants David out, sporting manager. We'll see, mate. We'll see. It is odd how, we're all still like, still want him out, don't they? Celtic manager. So someone likes a Celtic manager, eh? Victor, how you doing? Yeah, but I don't understand that, Victor, because he's on the back of 2 really, really good seasons. A big, lot of players have come in, really good. And you look at teams like Southampton, Fulham, they would be envious of our budget and the players we've got to play. So I just think we've missed a trick, really. Should have really gone for it, really.
Well, I think so, because, you know, you've then got that Liverpool game, which is obviously a really, really tough game. So, you know, we then got Man United coming up as well. And I know that shouldn't be, you know, as tough a game as Man United usually is, but still at Old Trafford, it's always very, very, you know, a tough place to go. So today was a big chance of 3 points and put yourself ahead. And unfortunately, we've you know, let it pass us by. So we've got Bournemouth on the Monday night in between that. Bournemouth is a, you know, big game in between Liverpool, Man United. You've got to be confident. You've got to go out and proper roll Bournemouth in between those 2 fixtures. So it'll be interesting to see what he does at Bournemouth, mate.
Yeah, you've got to keep going now. Pick up points wherever you can. Liverpool away historically. I don't know. You never know. But
always
we don't
struggle there, didn't we?
Yeah, always. My first visit, bloody 1-3-0, fluked it with Sacco and was it Bilic's first season, really. But quite a big money, Moisani, Benny. Sullivan's gone all quiet. We don't hear much about the 3 of them. Brady, Sullivan, those lot. We don't hear nothing. I don't know if you've heard anything, no?
No.
Isn't this the time of the year where you begin to hear things at the Christmas party, mate? I don't know.
Yeah. It is.
You get you ready for that?
Yeah.
Where was last year's one?
We're going to have ours at the old thingy, aren't we? We're going to have ours at the Blackburn game. With a nice bit of hospitality, mate. We'll get everyone down there and we'll have a crack. Anyone on the channel who's watching as well, we've got some cheap hospitality available for the Blackburn night game in the Cup. We're going to have a few Christmas drinks. So anyone who's interested in coming along, give us a comment or a DM and we'll get you involved. It'd be nice to see a few faces.
Oh, Jota's injured, is he? Yeah, because he didn't fit. Okay, that's fair enough. Yeah, I know, mate. Daniela, I hope you're doing all right. Everton, I mean, lots of things are happening. Everton are settling down now under Lampard, surprisingly. And Anna missed a really good chance. I saw that yesterday. but he's playing.
I think they're looking okay. I think
Yeah.
Everton will be all right long term, mate. I think they are all right.
Yeah, I mean, with that, yeah, Lingard will go off to, well, I don't know, America, Dubai, whatever. Not too sure, mate. God, Liverpool and Rangers. God, that's a big scoreline, wasn't it, Frankie? 7-1.
Huge, mate. Huge.
Bloody hell.
Not good enough. That Rangers manager, unfortunately, is not up to
Dutch guy, ain't he?
Scratch. Yeah.
Yeah, Southampton are struggling, mate. They're probably going to get rid of him soon, mate. Just wonder why Ward-Prowse stays there every year, probably on a nice number like Matthew Letizia used to be.
Even that, mate. Look, I didn't realise 4 losses in a row. Southampton had 4. You know, they were 4 losses in a row. They're trying to stop the rot today, and they didn't. We didn't make them look like a team that were trying to stop the rot, did we?
Fabianski's getting a lot of pelters for that first goal, mate, from a few people.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Again, I feel like he looks like, and this isn't being really harsh, as a great servant as he's been, he's starting to look like an old man. He's starting to look like he moves a bit slower than he needs to. He looks like he can't reach out and get to as much. He's still an okay shot stopper, you know, he's still an okay keeper. But for me, the athleticism of Areola and with the way he's played, that save he made the other night, a point blank range from that header was absolutely unbelievable. Incredible save. Fabianski wouldn't have got near it, mate. So, you know, I would like to see Areola start to become the number 1 personally.
Yeah, I think it's there's a good time to bring people in, and David Moyes doesn't seem to do it at the right times. But what's worrying from what we're saying, mate, is that Kehrer was 10 million, Emerson was 12. That's 22 million on 2 players that we're not sure what we think of them now, do we? Really, very early days yet, but that's 22 million gone. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Did we want good squad players, or did we want players really, really cement their place and first? I don't know. If I have a look at the lineup today, I mean, yeah, Fabianski in goal, Kehrer, Cressy, Johnson. God, that is a back 4. Doesn't get you off your seat, does it? You know what I mean? Souček, Emerson, Kufal. Wow, that's 7 of them. So all you're looking at is Rice, Scamacca, Bowen, Paqueta. That's it. And then you've got a good bench where you've got Antonio, you've got Downs, you've got Ben Rama, and obviously Fornals, whatever you say, he's better than Emerson and people like that and stuff like that. So that's interesting. I mean, same thing with Souček, mate. I think someone that after that first couple of years, he was worth a lot of money, wasn't he? A lot of people are after him, weren't they?
Who was that, mate?
Souček, a couple of years ago.
Yeah. Well, there was touted around big money, weren't there? United were going to come in for him and all that. You know, there was big price tags above his head. But sometimes, mate, and we've said this before with managers, it's with anything really. Sometimes the course is just done, and you know, at the moment, Souček just looks like his time at West Ham is finished, mate. I don't think he's ever going to be the Souček that we kind of loved in his first couple of seasons. We all knew his limitations. We all knew he wasn't the best passer of the ball and that he weren't technically very gifted, but he gave you lots in other ways. And unfortunately, all those things that he used to give us has gone, and I don't see him coming back. So, you know, I think his time in a West Ham shirt is up. Unfortunately, who's going to want to buy him now?
It's like you said, the goals have dried up, and I heard that him and David Moyes had a serious discussion a couple of weeks ago. I don't know what was discussed. So Downs, it's like David Moyes didn't want Downs to develop that quick. It's that kind of comments from him saying, first of all, he slagged him off. Then he's like, God, he's giving me a headache now. Oh, I don't know what to do now. So I'm like, I don't know what's going. So Dawson's got a dead leg. Okay, fair enough. Do you reckon he'll go in January, mate, Dawson?
I think he will. I think he knows he wants to go back. So, yeah, I think he'll be off. I think with Aguerd coming back in as well, I think Aguerd will be your man, and that'll be the time we can say to Dawson, thank you very much and appreciate all you've done, but see you later.
I'll tell you what, Ballon, you've reminded me of something. Isn't there rumours that we're on the brink of, like, we can't spend any more money because of the financial thing? I don't know, due to revenue. We're one of those 6 clubs that were highlighted. So maybe that's it then for a year. I don't know. I think we ain't going to spend much more, mate. But yeah, that's East Side Views. Cliff. Well, yeah, he agrees with you, Frankie. Boring,
We will.
mate.
We've always been boring, and we always will be boring. But like I said, with Moyes, when you get results, you accept it. But when you're not getting results, it looks terrible. And that's what we've had good results for the last couple of years. So we've accepted the football that's in front of us. And then when we start to not get the results, we all scream because it's not good enough. So it's a tricky one, mate. That's never been any different. What you're seeing this season is no difference to previous seasons. But we were just picking up results in previous seasons. So it isn't great football. It isn't great to watch. And as a West Ham fan who's seen maybe not as much consistency that we've had, people call it success. What we've had in the past couple of these seasons isn't success. Success is winning things. We haven't had success in the past couple of seasons. What we've had is some consistency, and we've had better seasons than being in relegation battles. But we've seen some real exciting teams over the years and some exciting players. We've got the players now who could really... Scamacca excites me. Paqueta could excite me if he's used in the right way. I just want to see us be a bit more adventurous, mate. Adventurous is the right word. I want to see us take the game to teams and try and, win football matches. David Moyes says, "This is what I do. I win." Well, show me that you bloody win then, mate, because I want to see more intent and more attacking football, and I want to see you go out there and win football matches. So we'll see, mate. We'll see.
How do you think, it's an unfair question, very hard to answer. How do you think Downs and Rice would play together? Are they very similar?
Yeah, no, they're perfect to work together, mate. They would work together, no problem at all. There wouldn't be an issue there. There wouldn't be an issue.
Victor, that's a good question, mate. Yeah, I mean, people like Sam Allardyce, obviously David Moyes, they're good people to bring in when you're struggling, mate. But then when you're going into the next level, yeah, you probably need a different type of manager. Yeah, I think that's true. 5 at the back. Yeah, I mean, not for me against Southampton. They probably saw that lineup and thought, well, they stick 2 up front, didn't they? Thought we'll have a go at this. We've got no centre backs out there. Oh, right, Diaz is out till the new year. Firmino went off with a bad injury. Okay. Well, yeah, that means that Nunes will play, mate. He's a bit of a handful. We made a cheeky bid for him in Christmas, didn't we? Wasn't going to go anywhere.
Mate, that Vinay comment is special.
Epic wants us to try Soucek as centre-back, mate. 6 at the back versus Liverpool. Hello, mate. You all right? Hope you're doing all right. Trying to catch up all the comments. Johnson, no, I don't know what to make of him, mate. He's just all over the place. Doesn't really play in one position. Yeah, we're kind of reactive, not proactive, mate. We don't go for it from the beginning. We wait and then go goal down, and then we think about it, and then it's just it is what it is. Yeah, let's see, mate. Let's see what they do on the training ground and things like that. I don't know, mate. Yeah, I know. But you can always do it halfway through a game, couldn't you? Once you see what's going on, mate, and try it that way.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking, Epic. I did this comment. 50, I think it's more than that, mate. But yeah, not at the moment, mate. Not at the moment. But you always know that our record signings are cursed if you go through the list, If you come out top signing in history, you're going down, mate. I think was it Duke one of them? Filippo, is it? Anderson, the one
Anderson,
after that?
Hala.
You don't want that title, mate. Oh, he put me on the spot, mate. Oh, mate. I am, yeah. Because because for my selfish reasons, I just want someone who play a bit more stylish football. I think that's it really for me. But
mate, like I said, do you know what? This really sums it all up, right? My dad's been going since he was 6 years old. He's now 55, 56. He's obviously unwell. He's got leukemia, right? He makes the effort. He gets on a bus. He gets over there. He goes bus, DLR, takes him about an hour and a half to 2 hours sometimes to get over there. Hobbles his way to the ground. sits there and watches the game, and then walks home again in the freezing cold, especially through the winter, right? And he makes that effort to get to every single West Ham game. Don't miss a game. Hasn't missed a game for years, right? He went over to the Fulham game, and he just said the whole thing from start to finish. He said, I don't see any of the faces I used to see. He said, you go in the ground. He said, it's an absolute carsy. He said, I hate the ground. I hate everything that surrounds it. He goes in. He said, I watch the most boring football. We don't sing a song. We ain't got no atmosphere. And he said, I'm just fed up with it. He said, it's boring. He left on the 70th minute. He said, I couldn't wait to get home. He said, I couldn't wait to get home. And he said, when I walked through that front door, he said, I was just glad to be back indoors. Now, you know, he makes that commitment and that effort. When he goes over there, mate, all he wants to have is a bit of entertainment. He just wants to be entertained as a football team, as a football fan. He just wants to go over there and see West Ham play good football. That's it. And it's a shame, mate, because he's turned around and said, I never thought I'd ever hear it from him, because West Ham is his life. It's the only thing he does for enjoyment, for fun. He just loves West Ham. You know, he sat there and he come out of that game and he said, I'm just thinking of giving it up. And part of that is for health reasons, because it is a difficult challenge for him getting over there and back and so on. But at the end of the day, he's just fed up of making that effort and that commitment and watching dull, boring football, sitting there, letting Fulham fans out sing you and take the mick out of you. And it's just not the West Ham we all knew. And I do feel like a lot of that we're getting at the moment is because the football is just no good. And that is why many people stick with the comment that Moyes has to go. It's got nothing to do with results, consistency, staying in the Premier League, being in Europe back-to-back seasons. It's none of that. It's wanting to go over there and be entertained as a football fan. And at the moment, we're just not. And that's the reality of it, mate.
Yeah, so for me, yeah, I want someone else in, mate. Yeah, you know, 1-2 people I've been looking at. But yeah, a lot of football, ladylike. Yeah, there's a fine line between the results. I think the last European game midweek, Frankie, I heard there was hardly any season ticket holders in the ground. All people don't regularly go. A couple of comments I heard. Yeah, but I always think you've got to respect the money. I mean, 10 million is a lot, you know. Oh, God, Kera. I mean...
He can't defend, mate. He can't defend. He's suspect. He's good on the ball and he can play out from the back quite well. The way he plays for Germany is perfect. Plays a right wing back, and if you come unstuck defending, there's another defender behind you, so you don't have to worry too much. He can't defend. He's a bit suspect, mate.
Because he was at Zuma, he was in the middle. So, like you said, if Zuma's there, Agard's there, Dawson's there, then you stick him in one of the three or the... Yeah, in the corner where you can't... If you make a mistake, there's people covering you, isn't it? He's all right there, yeah.
Per game, he'll throw himself into a challenge, come away for it and go, come on, and G the fans are. And all the fans remember is that, and they go, oh, weren't Kera brilliant? Weren't he fantastic? At Fulham, he got absolutely skinned. Like, he was getting roasted time and time again. He isn't the best offensively.
That is weird, because he's meant to be our fastest player. That is weird, isn't it? How he's just so much out of position. But yeah, it was a good. I mean, he was 33 million 3-4 years ago. Barcelona and Bayern Munich were fighting for him, whatever. PSG. Yeah. Moisey, you lot all want Moisey out, didn't you, hey? Antonio came on 20. I didn't even notice him. Did he do anything, Antonio? I don't know. Did he?
Mm-hmm.
Antonio, did he do anything of note or anything?
Didn't have any time, did he? Come on with like 5 minutes to go. Mate, if I was Antonio, I'd have told him to piss off. What are you bringing me on for 5 minutes for, mate? Go away.
Yeah.
You know, he's had an illness. I understand that. But for 5 minutes, what is the point, mate? It's just silly.
I think that's a good comment. I think he's taken as far as he can. It's going to be hard. The only thing I can think of, this Conference League is winnable, mate. It's kind of with the teams.
The amount of teams who have won a European competition tells you that one of the hardest things in the world to do is win a European competition. I don't care what teams are in it. At the moment, it looks quite bleak because the Europa League teams haven't dropped down into it. There'll be some good teams that drop into the Conference League. Believe you me, winning the European competition is no given and is a bloody hard thing to do. And if anyone thinks that you should put your entire season all on winning a European competition, you're mad, because it is such a tough thing to do. Really, really tough.
I think I'm mistaken there, because what I'm thinking about Kafal is that he's always visible, so he's running up and down. But what we're saying is that the end product isn't there, isn't it? The crosses are not going in anywhere, but he's always bumping up and down, though. I think that's what we're saying. Yeah, Kafal. Okay. Yeah, we should be doing better, mate. Should be doing better. Let's go to the end and see what's going on. Yeah, no. See, those days are gone, mate. Like, players don't put in transfer requests anymore. Managers don't resign because you lose all the money. So they'll stay in there, mate. No one's going to go unless they're sacked and paid off. Yeah, how you hope you're doing well, Vinay. But I think this is what me and Frankie are saying, that mentality that we're okay, we're not going to go down. That's not really ambitious way of thinking, is it, for West Ham? That, you know, we're not going to go down, so we're all right. We're all right. We got to push and push, haven't we? You know, and what makes it worse for me, I don't know about you, is when our bitter London rivals are doing so well. That always winds me up. You got Chelsea, you got Arsenal, you got Spurs. You just have to look at the league table. That makes it extra worse for me. And 2 years ago, we were ahead of all of them, Frankie. We were ahead of Spurs. We were ahead of Arsenal. You know, and Newcastle, listen, they're way ahead of their schedule. They're 4th or 5th at the moment, mate. And they're not getting rolled over anyone. And their checkbook ain't even come out properly yet, mate. Don't worry about that. Scamacca probably signed for them next summer, mate. 70 million, God knows. Man of the match. I hate doing man of the matches. I mean, the way we're... Oh, man of the match. Oh. I always struggle with this question, man of the match.
I think the obvious one is to give it to Rice because he got the goal. And what I would say is Rice had a much better game today than he'd had in recent weeks. I feel like he was more effective, saw more of the ball. I thought Rice had a real decent game today. So Rice would be an obvious candidate. But again, mate, I think I have to, even though he missed these chances, I think I've got to give it to Scamacca, mate. I just feel like his hold-up play, his effectiveness as a striker, I just think he's brilliant, mate. Just everything I watch of him is so good. I think, you know, he put that ball into Paqueta. Paqueta should put it away. Okay, he got in the box, should have got a shot on target. I thought he was dangerous throughout. Yeah, for me, Scamacca would be my, well, West Ham man of the match is what I'd say.
4-4-2 will work if you put Paqueta next to Rice, and then you got Cornet and Bowen as the wingers, and then that's the only way I can think about it. But see, Paqueta and Benrahma don't easily fit into 4-4-2. But
no, they don't. No, they don't. They don't fit in at all, really.
And we haven't got our. Well,
if you haven't got natural left and right-sided players, you can't play 4-4-2, and we haven't got any natural left wide midfielders. We haven't got, you know, Bowen does an okay job of it on the right, but yes, we haven't got the personnel to do that, unfortunately.
Yeah. Do you like Walker Peters? I mean, came from Tottenham, didn't he?
Yeah, he's all right. He looked fine, but fine.
I didn't know that Niles ended up at Southampton.
Yeah, Nathan Niles is there. Yeah.
Right. Ward-Prowse played in the middle, but yeah, we are 12th. If you look, yeah, we'll go through the fixtures and close off. Yeah, Liverpool away, Bournemouth at home, Silkeborg at home, Man United away, FCSB away, West Ham, Palace, then Blackburn. So, yeah, interesting fixtures coming up, mate. I just want to see quickly where Blackburn are in the league. Let me have a look. So they're 5th. They're 5th.
They're doing okay. They blow hot and cold at the moment, mate.
Top goal scorers in the championship, Sargent.
You know Bertrand Diaz going to score, don't you? You know that's a given.
He's got 7. He started off well again. He's 3rd, mate. Rodriguez
when we play him, you know he'll score.
Yeah. Sargent, American guy from Norwich, 8 goals. Interesting. Let's go through one more comment, and then we're going to close off. So in summary, for me, it's 2 points dropped. against possibly the worst team in the league at the moment, and a bit of lacking ambition with the starting lineup, playing 5 at the back and not playing the 2 boys that done really well in the middle of the week, Benrahma and Downs. If you're not going to bed in Downs in a game like this, I don't know when he didn't even come on full stop. Could have brought him on in the second half. He didn't do that. Mind-boggling decisions by Sir David Moyes. And for me, under him, the train will just be stop and start. We're never going to go into City firm, dare I say it, that speed. It's just going to be all right, mate, with him, mate, whether you like that or not. Obviously, I don't think me and Frankie do. It's all right for some people, but for us, it's not good enough. But that's where we stand. Just 2 more quick comments of going in. How you doing, mate? Going to the Bournemouth game? Good lad.
Yeah, no, she's right, and we do. Upton Park didn't always have a cracking atmosphere.
No, I didn't.
I do agree. And we had some really bad teams at Upton Park that were also, not particularly great to watch. But I just always felt at Upton Park, mate, that even when we were bad, I just enjoyed the day out more. I don't know what it was. I enjoyed the pubs more. I enjoyed the people that I was around more. I don't know. Maybe I'm just missing something. Maybe we're all getting a bit old and long in the tooth.
No, West Ham was hardcore, mate. It was proper organic, no artificial flavouring, colouring. It was like proper old school football.
Yeah, and that's what I like to see, mate. And like I say to people as well, they all go, "Oh, but what we had the best last 2 seasons we've ever had." For me, it just wasn't. Like, I loved the championship season we had when we used to end up at, in playoff finals and all that. For me, finishing 7th in the league doesn't mean we've had the best season we've ever had. It just doesn't mean that to me. I used to love going West Ham so much. I used to love the atmosphere in and around the ground. It just felt special. Everything about it felt special to me, and it just don't feel that way no more.
Maybe a lot of the people you knew don't go anymore. Maybe
they don't. No, they don't. And I agree. But that's why sometimes I go to the East Ham Working Man's Club and end up staying in there and don't even go to the ground because you're with your own and you're with the old school people who you've been around with for years. And a lot of people have turned their backs on it, mate. But they've not turned their backs on it because they've turned their backs on West Ham. They've turned their backs on the new modern day style of football. That they've built a wall between us and the away fans. That some people put a few flares on and they're like, "Oh, Stratford's on fire. Look at these people. Oh my goodness." They throw a few flares around. Aren't we petrified? When have West Ham fans been scared of a few flares going off? Like that the other night was handbags and our fans made out like it was a Millwall at home, absolute carnage kicking off. Can you imagine we had a Millwall game nowadays? But the only hope that I've got is all those people who were scared the other night, I just hope they don't come back no more. Because for me, that's the type of person that we need to clear out. Not people that are aggressive, not people that want to fight, not people any of that, but these softy, people who are petrified of a few flares in a stadium is just, mate, we're East End working class football club and we're petrified of a few Belgians with a few flares. I just don't understand it, mate.
Yeah, I think someone put the video out like it's kicking off, but when I clicked on it, I didn't see anything. And then
nothing going on. It's all handbags, mate.
Yeah.
All handbags, and we're all petrified. Mate, it's not the West Ham I know.
Definitely, mate. But anyway, thank you for everyone for joining us on this Sunday. Yeah, winter's coming, changing of the times in a week's time. It's getting darker. We got Diwali to look forward to next week, fireworks, then November the 5th after that. And then games are coming thick and fast. And it's very interesting for me what's going on at West Ham because I don't know what's kind of going on at the moment. But yeah, we'll take it each week as it comes. It'll be interesting. And yeah, and we'll hopefully catch up with 1 or 2 of you at the match. So yeah, what's Daniela saying? Yep. Take care. Take care, Frankie. Have a lovely evening. Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Take care.